What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat!
Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Welcome to the Dead Meat Podcast, your horror safe haven. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm James. We're married and we like to get scared together.
Yeah. Yes.
So let me tell you something, folks. Let me talk to you.
Dead Meat Podcast. What do you want to talk about?
When it comes to doing an award show, it's real hard. It's real tough. And it was extra hard this year because we weren't just picking the winners ourselves. We had a panel. So with a panel of voters, that instated deadlines on us. And with those deadlines, I felt rushed a little bit. But, you know, it's still a great show. Still super excited for this Dead Meat Award show to come out. But sometimes, you know, we're sitting there, I'm like, should I have done this for the nominees instead? Should I have done this? Because we chose the nominees. The panel voted on the winners.
Yeah.
But we chose who were nominated.
And to be clear, I think all the nominees deserve to be nominated.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, I think after the award show comes out, we're going to have a podcast episode where me, Chelsea, and hopefully Zoran and Chauncey all sit down and kind of talk through the whole show, the nominees, all the thought processes that went into the votes and everything. But I think it'll be important to note that we will never say this person or nominee shouldn't have been nominated. We would never do that. That'd be so shitty.
No. It wouldn't make sense to just keep adding extra spots in every category because then we would just nominate every movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
the whole point is to have to narrow it down.
I compare it to the stress that we felt picking nominees. For some reason this year was like really hard compared to other years.
Well, last year what we did was, because it was 2022 and so crazy, we expanded the slots to 10 for a few categories.
Oh, that's
which made it a little easier. It was still hard, but it made it easier. This year we went back to 6 just to make sure that 2022 was like a definitively exceptional year.
Yeah.
We went back to 6 for this year, which made it very difficult.
Yeah. I would compare it to if you've ever planned a wedding and have done seating charts.
Ooh.
Because then there's people that you really like, but then they don't. Okay, but they're kind of on the cusp of this other friend group that if we invite them, then we probably should also invite all these other. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of weird stress.
All that being said, that is a lead up to talk about this movie, Unwelcome.
Yes.
Because I love this movie. It did not get nominated for anything, and that feels so wrong to me.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
That this movie will not get a spotlight shown on it at the award show. But at the same time, again, I'm not sure what I would have swapped out is the thing.
It's tough. It was truly a cusp for so much.
This and Totally Killer.
Yes,
are
this
the
and
two
Totally
that hurt
Killer.
me that they didn't get any
for
nominations.
sure.
Because they both fucking rule.
Yeah.
I love them. So as a somewhat compromise to show our love for Unwelcome, we're doing a podcast episode.
Yeah, we're giving it a whole podcast episode because we both really, really like this movie. And it's like, Unwelcome is like our really cool friend from back home that we just maybe haven't talked to in a few years. And
Yeah.
would it be random to invite them to the wedding? But it would be, but also, you know, but we like them.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this like special spot in our heart.
And
for them.
you know, part of that is it did come out so early in the year.
Sure.
And that's always tough to be like, I like that movie. Was that because we don't have the time to rewatch everything.
Because we have to catch up on all this
The stuff that we
haven't
missed.
seen.
Yeah. So it was like, I really like that, but maybe these other ones. And then we rewatched it and it was like, oh, but this movie fucking rules.
It does,
so
yeah.
I'm glad we're doing the podcast episode.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And in a slightly different tract of thought, it would have gotten nominations. And so you should check it out for yourself, especially if you like fantasy. It's a rare fantasy horror film, which isn't a common thing.
If you, like me, are a fan of the kind of, is this a trope where someone who's I'm thinking American Werewolf in London, but who's
Sure.
either American or like very English, shows up to a rural kind of pub, and in
Like
this
old
case
world.
it's an Irish pub, and they walk in and you can tell it's just all these townies that know each other, and they do not trust you when you walk in the door. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Like Wicker Man kind of has that going on too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's folksy, folklore involved for sure. Some magical elements. It also has very human evils, and it might be a little bit difficult, especially the very beginning, if you are about to have a child or something. If you are pregnant or very, a recent parent, perhaps.
The opening scene is the most upsetting this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels the most grounded in terms of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So, slight warning for that, but yeah, I really...
There's no, like, sexual violence, if that's what you're
there's
worried
not.
about. There's, like, an implied threat of it, but we're not... That's not happening in this.
Yeah, although it is funny because the director compared this to...
Straw Dogs.
Gremlins meets Straw Dogs.
Which is not a combination you would think you'd want. Those are really different movies.
But it's shockingly accurate. It is
not wrong.
It's pretty much spot on description of this movie. Other than that, I mean, I liked the acting. There were spots of humor. The effects are real good. Real good effects.
The effects are really, really good.
I know that some people thought it was a little slow paced, which maybe, but like I think it earns the ending. I think it's worth it to get to the ending sequence where it's chaotic and bloody, pretty bloody.
Mm-hmm. There's some good gore in this.
Good gore in the end. But yeah, it's about this newly married couple who with a very pregnant wife who inherit they're English and they move from London to a house they inherit in rural Ireland, and then face a variety of problems there. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what else we could say in the spoiler-free section.
Yeah, I didn't mind the pacing so much. Something that I tend to... Like with creature films specifically, if there's like a monster movie, anything where the villain, the main antagonist is not a person, like another person. For some reason, I will often get kind of bored. I find that sometimes creature movies will spin their wheels a little bit, and it starts to, I don't know, sometimes they lose my interest. But this does an interesting thing with the balance of what's going on here.
Yeah, the lead antagonist, human antagonist, is Colm Meaney, who is an Irish actor who I know from Layer Cake.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's a Star Trek guy.
Deep
Holy
Space
shit!
Nine. Oh hell
he's
yeah.
all over Star Trek.
I can't even
Miles
imagine
O'Brien.
that.
Is Miles O'Brien a nice man?
Very nice man.
Oh my
That's
god!
hilarious.
Family man.
Oh my god! Since I only know him from Layer Cake
Yeah,
and this,
I was gonna
he's
say-
just a
Very
thug.
good guy.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine that man in space. That's so weird
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
so funny. Wow. He guest starred on The Simpsons. I wonder what. Like that's in the top of his Wikipedia entry. So I'm wondering where that is.
Yeah.
Did you know the lead actor Douglas Booth?
I looked at everyone's wikis and
Did you see how
filmographies and
pretty
maybe-
he was?
Oh yeah, he's yeah.
Because
Like,
in here I'm not gonna say he's schlubby.
no, but he just kind of looks like a guy.
He just looks like a guy. He played Boy George in a BBC Two film.
Sure, okay.
And was in Romeo and Juliet, and I don't know. He was in Jupiter Ascending. He's just a very. I was like, that's
he's
that's
got
that guy.
anime boy qualities. I think
real.
I think he definitely is. Like he's still a very attractive dude, but he doesn't look like a cartoon drawing anymore.
Yeah.
of like a Disney prince.
Because now he's like 30.
Yeah.
In this movie. But like when he was like 20, oh my god, he's just like a little anime boy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's Jamie.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either.
Who's like this kind of sad, emasculated character. There's a lot of like themes of masculinity in here. So to just see that, I was like, what?
I wonder if it's just because he's got a beard and
Yeah, and his beard goes down way too low in
It's
this
a-
movie.
yeah.
It's going down to his
he's
Adam's
stressed.
apple,
He's
man.
dealing with shit.
He's dealing with a lot of shit.
I think that's also part of it is the character's dealing with some shit, and I
Yeah.
think he looks. You can tell he's maybe a little unkempt and not sleeping
very
well.
flustered throughout the whole thing. Just a flustered Poor man, poor Jamie. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
And then the lead, his wife, the lead actress is Hannah John Kamen. She was in Ready Player One and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
She was in Ready Player One.
Ava Star / Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Do you recall this character, Gressel? No.
I don't recall. No.
Oh, she was Jill Valentine in Welcome to
The
Raccoon
Ghost was
City.
like the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
For real?
Yeah, and that's the second one.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
This chick, not a flattering picture. She's a beautiful woman, but her Wikipedia picture is like very poor lighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's gorgeous. Yeah. I have in my notes somewhere that she has a perfect side profile.
Yeah.
I was envying quite a bit.
She's the daughter of a Norwegian fashion model mother and a Nigerian forensic psychologist father.
Come on.
Can't lose with that hand. All right, I guess we'll get into the spoilers section now for Unwelcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a bunch of fucking little guys running around. We love it. There's little guys. Folks, there's little guys.
I saw this movie before Chelsea, and I was like, Chelsea's going to love these little guys.
I love the little guys in this. They're so cute.
They're red caps?
They're red caps.
Which I wasn't familiar.
The Fardarig.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to all of our Irish listeners.
Oh, I know.
Big apologies in advance
sorry.
for how we pronounce everything in this episode.
Gressel, you have to know these characters. Are they these creatures? Are
I'm
they
familiar.
Are they in D&D? They have to be.
There's like versions.
The internet differentiates between red caps and the Fardarig, but this movie uses them kind of interchangeably.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's fine to use them interchangeably.
Well, what are they closest to? Gnomes?
Leprechauns.
Really?
Yeah.
They look like little...
I think that they are basically, from my understanding, they're basically leprechauns, but even more of assholes.
They're little asshole guys.
Yeah.
They definitely would be small world creatures.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of like which ones. What are some of the base or early expansion? It starts with like a K. Maybe?
Kobolds?
Yeah. Are they like kobolds kind of?
I think if you go on the Wikipedia article for red caps, it'll be like C also. I do think kobolds.
Okay.
And interestingly, another C also is the Nain Rouge, the Detroit cryptid, the Detroit Red Devil.
Oh.
There is a parade every year in Detroit to scare the Nain Rouge out of the city.
Oh,
and
that's
if
like
you
a little
listen
guy?
to D&D, I stupidly did not realize that Gressel was hinting at some Nain Rouge tomfoolery coming up.
I made ours tall and hot.
Yeah, ours is extremely fuckable. Don't worry about it.
Wait, was this in the latest one that we just recorded?
Yeah.
I was half asleep. I'm so sorry. I was so fucking tired during that session, and I apologize.
Well, you did good. You're still funny.
I did okay. I felt really strong the first session of this season.
Yeah, you crushed that
And
one.
then this one, I was like, everyone else is going to have to carry, and I'll chime in with my bits, but I was falling asleep, and I'm so sorry. I'll get back to it.
Interestingly, so, okay, and I'm just reading straight from Wikipedia here, but the red cap, it's a malevolent, murderous goblin.
It's goblin-esque, yeah.
Yeah, and it's said to inhabit ruined castles along this says the Anglo-Scottish border. So I do think there's like
Fardarig.
different mythology of red caps or adjacent creatures in different areas of that part of the world. But
anyway,
you do see one kind of clambering around in
the
a castle.
castle, yeah. There's like a abandoned castle, so that checks out.
Here's the thing. Folklore like this, where it's folklore that's been around for a long fucking time. Like if folklore is like pre-Christian, that shit actually kind of freaks me out. Like if I'm over in Ireland or wherever, I'm not just gonna go wandering around in the woods like I see a circle of mushrooms or something. Fuck that. I just it's like I don't believe in it, but at the same time, when something is that old, it's almost like we make it exist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's scary. Like fairies are terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with fairies, the fae folk.
Man, there was that collection of short stories that I was reading that was a wedding gift to us actually from college friend Ben. It had this story in it where a guy like was trying to appraise a house, but he took a shortcut through the woods, and then it was like, wait, it gets all oriented and there's like a little mischievous critter, and it like freaked me out.
Yeah,
It's really
dude,
good.
it's scary. And what's scary is the idea of the tiny little guy that you can make deals with and it'll fuck you over and stuff. That just seems like it's a universal thing in folklore. Like everywhere. Everywhere has a weird little guy, at least one kind of weird little guy, or like a Sasquatch.
Yeah, there's always a Sasquatch
I feel like
or a
those
Yeti.
are two constants. If anyone else studies this kind of shit and can think of any other examples that are weirdly universal, please let me know, because that's so weird to me and I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you don't get the little guys for a while though in the movie, but
no,
it's not like they're hinted at early though, so it's not a major.
Well, because
spoiler.
it's they're kind of introduced as a concept early, and as soon as we're talking about them, like, well,
that's how movies work.
We're gonna see some.
Yeah, and you see them, crawling along the castle in the first act, I think. So, but the movie opens in London, very urban setting. That apartment complex they're in is insane. That thing looks like a mile long.
Yeah,
it's so big.
From our brief time in London, I feel like this is kind of what south of the river looked like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remember when
we saw nothing like this in our area, like in Soho.
I feel like when we took the train once and got off on a stop that was like south of the river, and that looked more like this, where it was just kind of lots of apartments and stuff.
Yeah. But it's Jamie and Maya are a couple, and she is taking a pregnancy test, and they're very hopeful. And look at that. It's positive. They're super happy.
Oh, man.
The music's so nice.
It's a horror movie, though.
I know.
So what kind of fucked up shit's about to happen?
But like it sets the tone so well between the music and their acting. It's not cheesy. It's like very emotional and heartfelt.
Yeah,
and they're great.
You can tell they're both like funny people and
who like love each other.
They feel like they're friends, which I always like in a horror movie, especially as a couple that feels like they're friends with each other. Besides having very typical coupley interactions, you get a bit more texture to their
they're great. They definitely, the movie doesn't work without them,
and they're beautiful.
They're both beautiful. So Jamie's like, cool, I'm gonna go get us some sparkling wine to celebrate, and he goes downstairs.
Non-alcoholic grape juice.
And he leaves their apartment building, and immediately there's like a corner store like right by the entrance to their apartment building. That would be nice. Which is awesome, except for there are these three.
There's a bunch of bad fucking blokes hanging out in front of the store, mate.
Yeah. Some real London hoodlums there.
Yep.
Guy with a teardrop tattoo and everything. And Jamie immediately is like, oh, fuck. And he like, even as he's entered, they're like harassing him, and they're like, yo, we were fucking with you earlier. And he's just like, oh, God. And
he's like, I'm trying to get non-alcoholic.
Yeah. So he gets it.
Juice for my wife.
On his way, when he's leaving, they're like, oh, champagne, what are you, rich? And then like right before he gets in the gate, he's like, he decides
this is the moment he regret, like this.
He'll never forget this moment.
Should have just kept walking.
Because right before he turns around, he's like, no, it's not champagne, it's fucking Prosecco. I have a pregnant girlfriend, like, fuck off. And he leaves, and then the rest of it is told from Maya's perspective. She's still in the bathroom, like getting ready to call her mom. She's taking a second pregnancy test. And she hears Jamie come into the door, and then other people come in the door, and Jamie start yelling, and they have broken into the apartment.
I do like the way this is shot, because
the overhead shot when she like leaves the bathroom and everything too.
Yeah, and the fact that you don't see the other guys come in, it's just audio, and I think that's so scary.
But yes, this is a very upsetting scene because she gets out there, and like he just told them that she's pregnant, and they push her down and start kicking her in the stomach, and it's real fucked up, and these guys fucking suck. They're like, they whip out knives, and she did call the cops. So the cops, they hear the sirens and get out of there. But like Jamie is beaten down to the floor and is just laying there watching them assault his
they threaten her with
wife.
It's London, so knives. We're in a knife fight.
Yeah.
The lead bloke is threatening her with a knife. She grabs a knife as well, I think,
he walks
And he's like,
into
yeah,
his
fucking
throat.
do it.
He asks if she's a nice or naughty
Yeah.
girl, and she like doesn't
nice or
stab him.
nasty.
Yeah, nice or nasty. Yeah,
And she won't, because she is a person with empathy, will not drive the knife up into his throat. Molly, chill. I know the cat's probably sitting right there and you can smell her.
But so the sirens come and they leave, and Jamie crawls over to her after being helpless to help his wife, and it's a sad situation. But thankfully, like in my memory, it was a little worse, and I thought that she lost the baby and that they had to try again, but that's not the case.
No.
It turns out she's okay. We cut to like I guess about 9 months later because
she's super pregnant.
she's about ready to go.
She's like basketball under the shirt pregnant.
Yep. There is a shot later where she like is in her underwear and like it's a good looking prosthetic. belly.
It does look really good.
I thought that they were going to avoid shots of her disrobed because I was like, well, you can't fake that belly,
yeah.
but they got a good prosthetic on there or something. But so about 9 months later, his great aunt Maeve, which you said has some meaning, right?
Yeah, it's a cool Irish name, and I don't know if this is intentional. I don't know how common the name Maeve is there. It could just be like us naming a character, I don't know, Agnes, and I don't know, some common old lady name. It means nothing, but Maeve in like Irish mythology, she is a mythical queen. Like she's super important in Irish myth. And does she have some association with fairies, Gressel? I can't remember.
I don't remember specifically.
She's the one who gets the whole thing with the cow. Do you remember that? Like the Ulster cycles and shit, where there's a war over a prize cow and
God, yeah.
college, baby.
Anyway, his great aunt Maeve died and left them her house in Ireland, like rural Ireland. So they're fucking pumped. They're like, we're getting out of London where the shit sucked.
Yeah.
And we were almost killed.
Yeah.
And we're going to go live in the very green, very bright, the lighting in this movie.
I love, sincerely, not ironically, I sincerely love how fake this movie looks.
It's such a choice.
It's so unsettling.
It looks like a fairy tale.
It's
so
lit
light.
like
It's so bright.
I remember there being scenes in Hauzu where it's before they get to the house. There's scenes, it's been so long since we watched it, but there's scenes where it's like this outdoor kind of like balcony of one of the girls' houses, and the lighting is this weird kind of like pinky orange, and it looks so fake and awesome. This kind of has a little bit of that going on, and I'm super into it.
Yeah, even sometimes the sky looks artificial. It's just very...
I like it.
Yeah, it has this artifice to it.
This movie's got color.
A lot of color, a lot of just bright colors. And I think it really fits the fairy tale folklore themes of the film. So, yeah, they move into this house. It's a cool house, got a
Fixer-upper.
quite a fixer-upper.
It's got a big old hole in the roof.
Just a hole over their bed in their bedroom.
Bitch, you lived like this.
Yeah, what the
come
fuck,
on,
Maeve? What are you doing? I mean, we find out later she was going through some shit. Because they find out right away that first her husband died, and then her child died.
Child died,
like
yeah.
a 2-year-old.
And so the neighbor,
Nave.
is it Nev?
It's the
Neve?
subtitles
Neve?
spell it Nev like Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
But they say...
Neve, right?
But I believe the...
They can't be Maeve and Nave.
No, it might be Neve because it's spelled Niamh. Is both the actress's name and I believe the character's name as it should be spelled. Shudder's subtitle spelled it like Nev Campbell.
Right.
But I think
Neve?
it wasn't
It's
Nev.
Neve.
So it was either Neve?
I believe.
Okay.
Okay. I refuse to believe it would be Maeve,
Maeve
and
and Nave.
That's
Yeah. Okay. So
really
Maeve and
stupid.
Neve.
Neve,
Okay.
yeah.
So Neve, another nice old lady, very nice old lady. I like her a lot.
I like her too.
Yeah, she's showing them around and she's like, okay, so here's the house. One weird little thing back here. You see this?
Come see this ancient looking little gate.
Yep, that goes into the wilderness.
Scary, like a fairy tale woods, and not the fun kind of fairy tale. We're talking like Grimm's fucking fairy tales where it's scary as hell.
And Jamie's like, oh yeah, I remember I wasn't allowed to go through there when I visited as a child.
Yeah.
And she's like, so weird thing, but Maeve would always leave a little blood offering.
Yeah, she calls it the little people.
The little people, fairies, red caps, little, some raw liver. And I just think Maeve, she wanted you to keep it up, but I'd be happy to come over and do it.
She offers to come over every day and leave like some grocery store liver out for the red caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say no thank you. They don't want her coming into their yard every day and doing that. And it makes sense that they don't want people coming into their property. And this is explained later. Maya talks to her. Listen, thanks for offering, but like we were almost killed in a burglary.
I can't just have people coming in and out of the yard. It's going to freak me out. So no thanks.
Yeah. Which is also going to be a problem later with the Waylands.
The Waylands.
Oh, the fucking Waylands.
Fucking Waylands.
But
dude.
so they're like, no, don't worry, Neve, we'll take care of it. And then she leaves, and they're like, what the fuck, a weird ass thing. We're not going to do that.
I don't know, you go to rural Ireland and this biddy shows up and she's got the fucking like silk headscarf and she still wears pantyhose, like she's that age of lady.
Wait, what? That's
like older women wear pantyhose, like they don't go bare-legged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. No, you believe everything she says. She knows what's up.
We get a little montage of them setting up the house. He promises her that he's never going to let her be in danger again. Like, he wants to protect her. But at the same time, when they're talking about, like, the septic tank and he's talking about doing some home repairs, Maya is like, she says that he can't even change a light bulb without getting vertigo. And there are a lot of moments throughout the movie of Jamie being unable to fulfill tasks that traditionally the husband would do. And it all stems back to that opening scene where he is like beaten on the ground and watching his wife be assaulted and is unable to do anything about it. And this poor man is just so frustrated and sad the whole film. And it makes me really feel for him.
It's interesting that his wife doesn't seem to ever hold this against him.
She doesn't. No.
I think this is him torturing himself with this.
Yeah, and understandably so.
Yeah,
like, he wants
for sure.
to be able to protect her, and it's not a case where it's like, yeah, babe, I'll protect you no matter. Like, they were almost killed, and he wasn't able to do anything about it. That fucking sucks, man. Like, that is, regardless of how you feel about like what masculinity is or can or should be, you see your wife getting beaten or your loved one being beaten and you're unable to help them, that's gonna fuck with you.
Well, it's also too because you think of right before that he finds out he's gonna be a dad, and so I'm sure moments before this he's already thinking of the implications of, okay, now I'm gonna be a father. That totally changes what my life's gonna be. And he probably had this totally new sense of what my role is in this family, and then that happens. So, yeah.
And it's I've been grappling with what the movie's trying to say about masculinity, basically, because Jamie never really gets a win in the movie. Even in the final scenes where they're like, it comes to a violent confrontation with the Waylands, who we'll meet in a little bit, he never gets to triumph over them. They like their safety and they're saved by outside forces that his wife goes and gets. He is never able to rise above the violent men who are attacking him. And it makes me feel bad for him. But at the same time, then like the attack initially happened when he stopped ignoring the hooligans and like confronted them. And so I don't know what it's saying or if it's saying anything that like do these trying to assert yourself in that like aggressive way just leads to more issues or leads to more problems. Because like he keeps getting frustrated with the Waylands, and every time he like takes it out on them, it goes nowhere. Like he never is able to win a fight or an argument. And he just like takes it out feebly on his punching bag at home.
Like literal punching bag.
Yeah, he literally has a punching bag. And she's like, just go punch it out, and he does.
Yeah, I think the key, like I mentioned earlier, is how his wife reacts to all of this and their relationship and how she sees him. And from my interpretation is that the whole movie, she loves him. There's never any bitterness on her end or feeling like he's not upholding his end of being a husband, even though, like you said, he never gets a win.
Mm-hmm.
She still loves him by the end. And so
yeah, it does end up being a happy ending for them, and he smiles and rejoices with what happens with her, which is really nice, and that's his win.
Yeah, and I think that smile is maybe the closure of his worry that he can't protect his family and that something will happen to them, because I think he's realizing I'm not the only person that has to worry about protecting us, and my partner is perfectly capable of we do this together, you know.
It's also he gets kind of a weird mirror version of him and these themes with Daddy Waylon.
Yeah, with Daddy.
We can discuss when we get to them. But right now, they're still in happier times, fixing up the home, even if Jamie's not great at
Putting
it.
the washing machine in the kitchen,
Yep,
very
very
you all
British.
do over there.
What is with that, guys? I mean, why are we doing that? I guess because
I think is that just where the space is?
Yeah, houses
For it?
generally are smaller than our much
Like our
American
McMansions.
big old houses that we have are separate rooms for laundry sometimes.
Yeah,
if we're lucky.
think I zoned out around this part because seeing their like kitchen, I just started thinking about beans.
You start looking up the beans.
Just that thing. It was like,
English
damn,
breakfast.
I miss the beans on toast so bad. You can't get those beans
That's
here.
what she learned, yeah.
This is what I'm learning is even if I wanted to make British style beans on toast,
Can't do it.
you can't
Yeah.
do it because our canned beans are all like barbecue style, real like sweet.
Yeah, sweet and tangy.
You can get imported British Heinz beans.
Really?
Yes. Like plain, not baked bean.
Can you get enough to reenact Tommy?
Oh God.
We're going to need a Tommy amount of beans over here.
Yes. We need to fill up a TV with beans.
They're looking for contractors to fix that hole in their house.
And everyone's busy. Doing what? I'm sorry. This
It's
village
a very small village.
is like 10 people.
Yeah.
This village is like a small video game sized cast of characters running around, and there's
But
like
all the contractors are busy, so he sees while driving, Jamie sees and is the one to pull over and do it, a just like side of the road general contractor sign, Waylon and Sons and Daughter.
Waylon and Sons and Daughter. Yes.
The daughter probably added later to the sign. And the first one we see is actually Kristen Nairn.
Yeah, Hodor.
Hodor is
And
one of the sons.
he's on our flag means death as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And DJ.
He is a DJ who we saw perform at Comic-Con.
I did not.
Oh, that was just me at the.
I think I was working.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I saw him perform.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So they go to the pub, the village pub, and they like mention, yeah, we're gonna hire the Waylons, and the people there are like
drops glass.
Oh yeah, and when they walk into the pub, like Chelsea mentioned in the
They
intro,
all stare at them.
everyone stops talking and stares at them, but it's a nice little fake out because actually everyone there and like because you were unsure still and I was like, no, they're nice friendly Irish people. I was being serious. Everyone in the town is really nice to them because like they stop and then they're all like, hey, welcome, oh, we know you're Aunt Maeve, like, and they welcome them into the town. But the Waylons are less inviting to them. They are unwelcome.
Yeah,
to
they're
the
not
Waylons.
at the pub when they first show up because
No.
I think they mention, oh yeah, we finally found some contractors, we're gonna hire the Waylons, and that's
And
when
people are
everyone's like,
"Ugh." And what does the one drunk guy say?
he
Rory?
says, just make sure you don't
yeah, they're nice enough. Just make sure you don't leave your missus with the boys.
don't leave your missus alone. They'll be
Did
I
you
wrote
write
this.
it down?
I
Good.
did, yeah. They'll be playing on our baps like kids on a bouncy castle.
Maya's reaction is so funny. She's like, okay.
Like, oh, no.
Then we were not going to talk like that here. And so Rory, the drunk, gets kicked out of the bar. Him and his dog, Molly.
Yeah, he has a dog named Molly.
A much larger Molly.
It's so funny because we were curious if she would respond at all to the characters yelling Molly over and over and over again. But we realized, because we tried this, she doesn't respond if you say her name with their accent. Molly. Molly.
Oh, see? That's science right there. She did not react when Rory drunkenly stumbles home and his dog runs away from him and he tries to follow Molly into the woods and then gets killed by redcaps.
Yep.
But it's off screen. So the next morning, they wake up to the sound of people in their house. And obviously, they are freaked out. He grabs some kind of weapon. I forget what it is. But then when they go downstairs, it's the Waylands.
Yep.
Here are the Waylands.
They let themselves in. They're doing construction.
Yeah. Question mark. Because later they like go to open a kitchen cupboard and it falls off the wall.
Yeah.
So not very good work there. But it's the lead man is Mr. Wayland, who insists you call him Daddy.
Yep. He gets angry about
Every
it.
time she says Mr. Wayland, he says,
Call me Daddy.
like increasingly angry, just called me Daddy.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking weird.
Daddy's got 3 kids. Killian is the rudest boy of the boys.
Yes, he is a certified rude boy. He's got the, what do we call these styles of tank tops now?
I call him, I don't know, because wife beater I always thought was an awful name. I've
terrible.
never used
yeah,
it.
but that's what he's wearing.
Yeah,
and like
for him it would probably be called a wife
and
beater.
like he would complain that you can't call him that.
For sure.
And he's got the Adidas track pants on.
Oh yeah, you wanted me to wear that.
Oh, I
today.
did, yeah.
Oh, I could have. I'm a little warm in this, but
Yeah.
my undershirt's just a white t-shirt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the daughter is Aisling. That's not how you say it. Ashley. Ashling. Sorry, we're
I
so
think
sorry.
it's just Ashley.
Is it just Ashley?
When it's
think
spelled
so.
Aisling,
Yeah.
It's spelled
It's spelled
AISLING.
AISLING.
Yes.
I think it's just Ashley.
it's just Ashley. Y'all, that don't make sense. We're speaking the same
That makes
language,
it.
but that
No,
doesn't
But
make
it's
sense.
not the same language.
Totally
It's
different
different.
language.
What?
Completely different language.
Oh,
Irish.
Irish is a language?
Yeah.
I thought that they just spoke English
No.
with an accent.
Beautiful
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Irish would not be happy.
I'm
to
so
hear you.
sorry.
The English would be like, yes, that's right. They all speak English now. You're welcome.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, there
But no,
you go.
I mean it's a I still fail to grasp how Irish words are pronounced.
Yeah,
It's
they're
very confusing.
Anyway, Ashley is how would you describe Ashley? She's got like a top ponytail.
Yeah.
She's like vaguely hitting on Jamie, but in like a mean way.
She stopped updating her fashion in like 2005.
Yeah.
Kinda. Is like, yeah.
And she's Gressel knew the actress from Dairy Girls.
Dairy Girls, which I have not watched,
great
but I
show.
hear is very
Jamie
good.
Lee O'Donnell. She played Michelle.
She's great. Yeah. The whole cast of that show is great.
All right.
She's hilarious, which is you said before we started recording. She's not hilarious in this.
well, I mean, they're funny in a mean way.
Yeah, they're
sure.
they're
She's kind of funny in a mean way in Dairy Girls too.
sure. Yeah, they're comic, but in a way that makes you uncomfortable.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah.
Especially for poor Jamie and Maya. They've already been through it, and now they've got these fuckers in their house.
They're large adult sons and daughter.
And yes, youngest son, Owen, I believe it's pronounced.
Owen, yes.
They say, even though it's spelled with a bunch of extra vowels.
OIN.
Yeah, Owen.
Okay, yeah. And that's Hodor.
Yep. Owen.
Who doesn't talk until like his last scene.
Yeah, he's talking of a storm.
He's talking. I was like, oh, he can talk? Like I thought the character didn't talk.
Yeah.
But he's
I think he just is
very
terrified of
shy.
him. He's terrified of Daddy.
Oh, Daddy beats the shit out of him. He's
Yeah.
all bruised and shit later.
Yeah, he's a
he's like a
tragic
half brother
character.
The Killian and Ashley are full siblings.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I believe he is their half sibling whose mother died giving birth to him.
Okay.
And then later Daddy says, "Oh, Ashley and Killian just lost their mother," to excuse their behavior a little bit.
Oh.
Because it wouldn't make sense if she died giving birth for him to say they just lost their mother.
Unless he's lying?
I mean, where else would she be? I think that part's maybe true.
Yeah.
He could be lying though. They're all pieces of shit.
Yes, they are.
Killian literally shits in their house. And then,
yeah, and
then,
not like it's not like he just shits like, you know.
No, it's in the toilet.
It's in the toilet, but it's one where it's like he might have needed to get like a poop stick to kind of, you know, shove it
a
down.
plunger into what a poop stick. What? What? Wait, what?
You guys don't
Different
have a-
utilities.
You guys don't have a poop stick.
Do we?
Not a dedicated poop
I'm
stick.
thinking, no, I'm sorry. I think there was like a pretty legendary Reddit post where someone I'm thinking.
Look, I know
I'm
what
sorry,
waffle
but
stomping
no,
is,
but now I'm thinking of it, and now I'm gonna just be laughing the rest of this episode.
Jesus Christ.
There was like a
Tom.
Reddit post where this is years old, where someone was like, "I grew up thinking it's normal to have like a dedicated poop stick in your bathroom
No.
that you use to like break up."
No.
And then I went to someone's house and I used the toilet and I yelled to them like, "Hey, do you have a poop stick?"
No.
Oh, stop the show.
Oh. No. It dedicated like it stayed there?
Oh,
Like in the
you
corner?
have to clean it off?
I don't. That's yeah. What? No. We're not poop stick dude touring. We're not taking a detour for the poop stick, hon. Put that phone down. We have to keep talking about Unwelcome. The poop stick is unwelcome. We don't want it here.
The next
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's worse. It's it wasn't this this was in the Museum of Reddit subreddit, so you know it's good. This is like a preserved
It's like broken arms fucking.
post. Yes, it's like it's in that category. It wasn't a poop stick, it was a poop knife.
Worse!
That's so much worse.
It was growing up.
No, because now you're not even poking it from afar.
You're
getting
so close to it.
slicing it like it's.
It was
stick of
growing up.
butter.
This was a common occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room.
Oh.
Only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you get me the poop knife?" I thought it was standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Oh no. Oh, that first sleepover.
Edit. Why? Common question. Why was this not in the bathroom instead of the laundry room? Answer. We only had one poop knife and the laundry room was central to all three bathrooms. Anyway, listen, I'm just saying Keely could have gotten, he could have, they definitely would have.
Yeah, Wayland's probably have a poop
They
knife.
probably have a communal poop knife.
Yeah, that's true. And while he's taking a shit, sitting there with his pants down, they might even be off. He might be a pants off pooper
Yeah,
here.
where he gets fully naked.
But
to
he's
poop.
like, he rummages around and finds a sex toy, and
he
then
gives
he
it a
smells
little lick,
it.
and he licks it. He tongues it.
Does he tongue it?
Yeah.
I was too busy cringing
No,
to see.
he tongues it.
Ah. Oh no.
It's so gross. Their toilet, and like, if you live over there, this is not novel at all. But when we went there for our honeymoon, this was very exciting. The fucking chain you pull to flush the toilet, that was honestly one of the highlights of our trip.
Oh my god, damn it. Okay.
Hey, want to talk to you about our sponsor this week, Rocket Money. If I asked you how many subscriptions you have, would you be able to list all of them and how much you're paying? Maybe you're doing some home repairs like Jamie and Maya, and you need to know where every single dollar is going. If you're like me before using Rocket Money, you have no idea how much money you're wasting on services you don't even realize you subscribe to. I'm really, really bad about this, to the point where I hate checking my bank statements. It always makes me feel bad. Our sponsor this week is here to help you with that. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, I can cancel it with a tap. I never have to get on the phone with customer service. Anytime I don't have to be on the phone with customer service is time I can spend dealing with my weird contractor and his large adult children. Rocket Money will even try to get you a refund for the last couple months of wasted money and negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year. With over $500 million in canceled subscriptions, stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/deadmeat. That's rocketmoney.com/deadmeat, rocketmoney.com/deadmeat. Our next sponsor this week is Henson Shaving. Ryan Jamie's house in this episode reminded me of how old houses used to have razor blade disposals built into the walls. If you've got a home built mid-century or earlier, you may have a secret compartment of used razor blades hiding in your bathroom. This weird but excellent invention went out of fashion after the invention of removable plastic heads and disposable plastic razors. But now we're all a lot more conscious about waste, particularly plastic. That's why you have to meet Henson Shaving. Henson Shaving is a family-owned aerospace parts manufacturer that has made parts for the International Space Station and Mars rover, and now they're bringing precision engineering to your shaving experience. And they mean precision. By using aerospace-grade CNC machines, Henson makes metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches, which is less than the thickness of a human hair. That means a secure and stable blade with a vibration-free shave. And it gets better, no more plastic waste with detachable heads that you have to toss in the garbage after a few uses. The Henson razor works with standard dual-edged blades to give you that old-school shave with the benefits of new-school tech. I've got sensitive skin, so I have to replace my razor blades pretty frequently or I get really irritated skin, and that gets super expensive fast. Once you own a Henson razor, it's only about $3 to $5 a year to replace the blades. They're designed to give your face a perfectly clean shave. I personally can't grow a luscious beard like Jamie, so I just use Henson razors on my legs. Really nice shave, especially around the sensitive skin on the knees and ankles. It's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that'll last you a lifetime. Visit hensonshaving.com/deadmeat to pick the razor for you and use code DEADMEAT, and you'll get 2 years worth of blades free with your razor. Just make sure to add them to your cart. That's 100 free blades when you head to hensonshaving.com/deadmeat and use code DEADMEAT. I'm sorry.
They're meeting with Jamie and Maya are meeting with a priest just to talk about, I don't know, priest shit. She admits she had an abortion before when she was younger, but the priest is like, he's a cool priest. He's like, oh, I can't condone your actions, but
yeah, the Irish don't love abortion.
they're not pleased about that, but at least they've stopped condemning women to die for them lately, a couple of years ago, putting them ahead of some places here.
By the way, Ireland, your president is the cutest little old man, and I love him.
Oh yeah, Chelsea got real excited about him.
He is. How does it feel having a little cartoon character as your president? It's amazing.
They mention they're looking at the gravestone of Aunt Maeve and her husband and the baby whose body is not buried there. They were told by Neve that the baby had died of pneumonia, but the priest is like, no, the body was never found.
Yes. Here's do we want to get into what happened with
Sure, yeah.
Because here's my confusion is if Aunt Maeve offered the baby to the Redcaps as a trade to save her husband's life, right?
Yes,
that's what it was?
That's what we find out happened.
Then why did he die like later in life? Like,
good question.
Yeah, that's where I was confused, and maybe someone who's also seen this is maybe we're missing something.
Were there dates on the gravestones?
There are, but I didn't write them down.
Yeah, and the gravestone's also like it's like covered in vines and stuff. Sure. You purposely can't see the name of the baby because they're keeping the baby's identity kind of a secret, I think. You just see the last name.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened there because I figured the trade was to save her husband.
It was explicitly so.
So then.
But was he not saved and they took the baby anyway?
Yeah. But I feel like that's, the Redcaps are, you don't want to be messing with them, but they're gonna keep up a trade like that. It'll still be tricky, like leprechaun or djinn type stuff where it's you got to be careful, but they're not gonna straight up not give you what you wanted.
Yeah. Like they're taking that baby, but they'll save the husband.
Right.
if it's in their power to do so. I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I'm kind of confused on, and maybe someone else who's seen this can clarify. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what happened. So the Waylands are just getting increasingly like they're not doing their job. They're increasingly antagonistic. They clearly have an issue with Jamie and Maya being English and coming here and taking an Irish home. They're like, oh, it's your home, is it? Like, you just get to come in here and take it, which obviously has a lot of historical background
Gressel
to
and I
it.
were talking about this quite a bit yesterday because for some reason we were talking about the Troubles, and I was like, we're reviewing a movie tomorrow that kind of is an undercurrent, at least.
Yeah, it's not really, this is kind of the only scene where that's brought up.
Yes, but it's helpful cultural background to know for why there would be some tension for an English couple.
Why these already shitty people would be especially shitty.
Exactly. Like that. This doesn't help. you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, fucking. I know this is like what is it, like a historical? I know Oliver Cromwell himself. Like I don't think he actually took away Christmas, but everyone just basically says he did.
And they bring up Cromwell in the movie a couple of times.
Fucking Oliver Crumbs. The Cromwells, like, what the fuck was in the water at their place, their ancestral home? Because, geez.
Oh yeah, they complained to Daddy that his shitty ass kids are like stealing their food and leaving poop without knifing it in the toilet.
without
and he talks about, oh, he'll discipline them. I prefer a direct approach. And like he says he's gonna beat them, and Maya has this hilarious line delivery where they're all just like, well, I would prefer you not beat your children.
I don't want you hitting your kids.
Yeah. It's a very funny line.
Yeah, he's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's like we said, he's bruising Owen, kicking him, like knocks him down, kicks him. While they're being shitty to them, she sees Owen like looking at her through the window at one point while he's
peeping.
changing. Yeah, he's peeping a bit.
Yeah.
They break a window upstairs, and Jamie gets real mad and yells at them, and they're not intimidated at all. They're just like laughing at him and getting in his face. So he goes inside to cool off, and Maya goes to garden, and she sees Molly the dog. Mm-hmm. Molly the dog. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know it's late. It's getting late. You're getting sleepy.
And she follows Molly the dog into the... Oh, yeah, and she, after a while, because when they were at the pub, Neve hit them up one time and was like, so, what'd you leave out for the offering today? And they're like, what are you talking about? And she's like,
no, you
really have to do this. And that's when Maya's like, we can't have people entering our house, but okay, I'll do it. And so after that, Maya did start leaving the offerings for the little
delicious grocery store liver.
Yeah, it's like brown in that fucking cellophane. It's real bad.
Yeah,
it's like when I would buy meat in Ann Arbor from the corner market. Village Corner.
Oh, you know, I buy meat from Village Corner.
It was right by Truth, and that's where I lived that summer. And they had a kitchen, and I'd fry that meat up and eat it.
Oh man, I also bought meat from Village Corner. It was cheap.
It was cheap.
Village Corner was super cheap. We all did it.
And that place don't exist no more.
That was one of the last places to buy cheap food in Ann Arbor.
So she follows Molly into the woods and finds like a really cool like row. Amidst all the trees, there's like a blank row.
It looks like when you're like on a America road trip and you drive through those woods where they were clearly government planted trees.
Mm-hmm.
Like New Deal era trees.
Yeah, just like a perfect row of a clearing, and at the end of it is a stone little hut. Mm-hmm. And she goes inside there, and Molly runs inside, and she's like, I'm not going down there.
Yeah, sorry, Molly.
There's like bones and shit.
Good dog actor.
Great dog actor.
Very good dog actor.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to this dog in a year where the Anatomy of a Fall dog is having such a
any other year this would have been your year.
Yeah that's tough.
So while she's coming back home, she finds Owen in the woods crying because he's been beaten by, he says, Mada hates me.
Daddy.
No, Mada yeah, keep calling him Da. And she like sympathizes with him, and you know, you wanna be on Hodor's side.
And it's interesting because she kind of is giving him a talk that tells him, yeah, you've got to be strong up here, and it's sweet, and you think like, okay, and you want Owen to be good because he's Hodor, he's our buddy, you know.
But then he says, I really like you.
Yeah.
And he won't let go of her hand.
Yep.
And then he like starts to like go in and assault her.
Yeah.
And then she screams and it cuts away.
So we don't know what.
Yeah, it cuts to like the treetops, and then she's like getting back to the little gate and is all like panicked. Mm-hmm. And she runs.
So something happened.
Yes.
We just don't know what.
And she runs inside, and
little people killed Owen. Owen's dead, and little people came, and then she's describing this whole scene, and he just kind of loses it at this point.
Yeah, she takes him out to the woods, and she sees like a little spot of blood, but Owen's body is nowhere, and he's just like
this is, I mean, horror movie husband. He's not one of the bad horror movie husbands, but this is pure horror movie husband behavior where he's saying, you imagined this. And he also has a moment where this is when he's telling her, do you know how hard it is to watch this happen to you as a husband and a father? You know, this is when he kind of lays those emotions out on the table.
And she's like, you're yelling at me? You're yelling and punching. Like, I married a nice guy. And he says, yeah, look what that got you.
Yeah.
So he goes to the pub with a Krav Maga book. Like, he's reading about how to defend this poor guy. And since Owen's missing, he isn't found anywhere. The other Wayland children storm the pub looking for him and just harassing everyone, asking if they know anything about him. And they obviously get in Jamie's face and are like, I don't know if you know something. I don't know if you know where he is, but you know something.
Yeah, she's really good at reading him.
Yeah, I mean, Killian's like, Ashley can sniff out liars, and she's literally like...
Yeah.
But he gets so fucking blasted because Neve is like, oh, I'm sorry. She runs the pub too, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Have another pint on me, and he ends up having to walk back to their house, which, like, they live so fucking far from even this tiny-ass village. They're extremely remote.
Yeah.
So while he's there and then walking home, Maya's by herself at home, and she gets a little visit.
A little guy shows up. A little guy shows up at the front door, and he's got a bag, and I don't know where he got the bag from.
Yeah, it's like a plastic bag, like from the corner store.
Yeah, and he drops off this little plastic bag, and
what does he say? He's like, "Mama with a baby."
Oh yeah, he sniffs her, and he goes, "Oh, Mama with a baby." Yeah. And then he runs away,
leaving her this bag with Owen's head in it.
Yep.
Is a little treat.
Yeah. It's like a cat bringing you a dead bird.
Yeah, she's been feeding them their liver.
Yes, exactly.
They protected her.
That literally, yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I love them. They are like weird little cats.
Yeah. This thing is adorable.
I love them. They're so cute. They all look different. We see a bunch of them later, and they all have different little personalities.
Yeah, some have like huge noses.
Some have big beards.
Yeah. Some are like taller than others. And get this, they are all practical. They are all little people, I believe, in prosthetics and makeup, filmed against green screens and comped in.
Well, didn't you say
forced perspective?
I thought that what we were reading was that a lot of it is just in camera, like it's like Hobbit magic kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
It looks incredible.
It's pretty.
And they said the only time they applied CG was when they had to like speak or like really emote, but other than that, it's just like makeup. It's so fucking good. They look great.
And you can tell that's when like practical is so cool because these creatures they're wearing clothes, and I think that's often when you can tell something is super fake is like fabric is really it just that the physics of especially a bunch of different kinds of fabric because they all look like they're just wearing a collection of different like scraps and shit. They're so cool again.
They fucking rule, dude. And they have their little voices and
they're very, very Gremlin-esque.
Very Gremlin, only like more violent. Like they will fuck you up, dude.
You up.
Yeah. So when Jamie finally gets home, she shows him the head, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because like, okay, now what?
Yeah, like, did you do this?
And this is something I like about this movie because this is a very good example of horror movies. You're often like, oh, why don't they just do this situation? I don't know the fuck I would do. You can't just take a head in a bag to the cops and be like, a bunch of little people did it.
And she tried taking pictures, but they're kind of blurry.
Yes,
so,
she takes all these cryptid pictures of
Yeah.
a red cap running
and
away.
so like even before Jamie has a chance to like decide, do I believe my wife and these blurry pictures or like what? This shit comes to a head immediately. The Waylands show up. It's night. He's drunk. The Waylands are there asking about Owen. Daddy's there banging on the door.
Daddy's home, dude.
Daddy's home. And oh man, this is when it's like, oh, this movie's kicking it into gear now.
Yeah.
Because the Waylands are.
He immediately is just like, well, time to burn the house down.
Yeah. They just start busting the windows, breaking inside. They step inside. He literally is like, fuck this place up. Takes like a torch and is lighting things and then lights the cigar in his mouth and then goes back to lighting the curtains.
That's cool. That's the move, though. That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Ashley's like breaking TVs and shit with a bat. Killian climbs on the roof and busts out their satellite dish so there's no internet or reception since it's so rural. So Jamie's like trying to like contact the police and he can't.
Maya's trying to climb out of a window, I think, and she drops the bag because she's holding the bag with the head and drops it. Ashley
sees it.
Yep. Looks in there and it's just fucked.
Oh, well, Maya escapes. She escapes out the window and runs into the woods.
Yes.
While Jamie is trying to like barricade the doors and like he's just trying to survive, Maya takes off from the house, goes into the woods and starts calling out for help. And all while this is happening, Jamie gets caught by Killian and Daddy.
And like they're about to murder him.
Daddy literally says, kill this guy. Like it's time for you to like kill your first person, son. Like and here like
it's like the fucking VHS, the like most recent VHS, that family.
Oh yeah,
it's
that
like
family.
It's time to kill your first person.
Yeah, and like as they're breaking in, I think Jamie says something about like you can't do this, and Daddy says, when it comes to my family, I do whatever I want. And he's very protective of his kids. And even has a moment when Killian dies in a little bit where he's like holding his body and crying and is like, I wish I could have told you I was proud of you. And is like, he is a very loving father despite the fact that he abuses them, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a weird
he's interesting.
mirror image to Jamie because here is this father figure who protects his family with this aggression and violence that he also turns on them, and that gets them all killed in the end. You know,
Daddy's an interesting character for sure because it's like, does he love his kids or does he love the idea of his kids? You know, because that's I think often the case is like they're just your legacy. It's like a selfish kind of thing. You're passing yourself on to the future almost, and you kind of view kids as like this is something a man has to do in life. And also the kind of last minute regret of I should have been more emotionally open with my especially sons, you know. I feel like there's like a manliness kind of block there.
So there's something there, even if I can't fully articulate what's going on, but it seems to be like men feel a pressure to act in a certain way, even though by acting that certain way it can make situations worse.
Yeah, like it sucks having to live up to this very specific idea of what manhood is.
Yeah, I feel bad for boys. You know, they have their own issues, especially today. Because Jamie, like, when Killian confronts him, he stabs Killian, and then Killian just, like, takes the knife out and is just, like, ready to kill him. And Jamie's just, like, he starts crying and is like, this isn't fair. Like, we just moved here to have peace. Like, stop, please.
Yeah.
And he's
like,
just reduced to tears.
Yeah, 99% of people, 99% of men, you're Jamie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want to be killed by this scary guy. But Killian and Daddy, they keep Jamie alive long enough to like, because they want to know where the wife is, where Maya is, because they figure out she's the one who killed Owen, but she's in the woods and she says, I'll give you anything you want.
Yeah, she finds the little hut again.
And she says, I'll give you anything you want to save us and save my husband, just like Maeve did. Yeah. So yeah, all of a sudden they're torturing Jamie. They're like sticking their fingers in his knife holes and shit. Yeah, because he got like stabbed in the back. And she gets back and her water breaks right then. And Ashley, like, sees her in the backyard. And Ashley starts fucking wailing on her, is beating Maya. But then you're right. Yeah, the fire just all of a sudden, like, goes out.
There's a little tinkle sound. And a bunch of little guys show up.
Yeah, they come in through the roof hole, and they drop down and they start stabbing Killian.
Yeah.
They don't kill him, but they're stabbing him a bunch.
What does Killian say? He's like, what is it? Some sort of monkey.
Yeah. And Daddy's like, no, it's wearing clothes. And they're like, monkeys wear clothes at the circus.
Yeah.
Because, they don't. And because Daddy murders one.
Oh,
he
yeah.
fucking busts this thing's head open. You're seeing skull and eyeball. And this
It's
poor
so
little
sad.
guy
It's just a little guy.
gets fucking murdered. And then Killian kills one, too.
Yeah,
he fucking puts a cleaver in his head.
Yeah.
And that was practical, too. They put a cleaver in a puppet's head.
That's so cool.
It's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
But
Don't worry, Killian gets his throat slit.
yeah, Killian tries to like run away. He like
Yeah.
runs outside, gets in the car, is all ready to just drive away. But there's one in the back seat that just like pops up, fucking stabs him once in the neck, and then just like Killian bleeds out in Daddy's arms and dies. They kill Ashley in the backyard by like
They rip apart her. It's like Day of the Dead shit in the backyard. They're like ripping apart her stomach.
Well, they take like a saw, like a serrated saw,
Yeah.
and stick it in her belly, and then like fucking hack it
It's
up.
so gross.
And cut her
And
open.
her intestines
Yeah, she
are
stands up, and there's like
falling out.
intestines coming out and shit.
Love it.
It's real good, yeah. And then they're like, see what happens to nasty girls.
Yeah, nasty.
Which is the second of 3 recurrences of the nasty nice girl thing. Yeah. And then, Daddy ends up confronting them. Daddy, I think, kills another red cap or shoots it. And so they like carry the other red caps, take the injured one and carry him off. So it's just down to Daddy and Jamie and Maya. And Jamie stands up and is like, let's settle this like men, and just wants to fist fight. And Daddy just shoots him in the
Just
fucking
fucking
shoulder.
shoots him.
Yeah, just shoots him down. So,
But isn't this when Molly shows up to save the day?
Molly does save the day, I believe. Knocks the gun out of Daddy's hand.
Yes, so then Maya is able.
Yeah, because Daddy was just talking about how he ran out of all his live
So there's
ammunition. So there's just
birdshot
bird
in
shot, and you have to be real close to kill someone with that. And so Molly knocks the gun out of his hand, and Maya gets the gun, is right next to his face, and she's like, how close do I have to be? And just pulls the trigger, and his face blows apart,
Yeah, it just
dude.
disintegrates.
It's fucking cool. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, that face explodes, man.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love that when Jamie sees the red caps for the first time, he like starts hitting one, and Maya's like, no, they're helping us. And then what is he? He's like, no hitting.
he comes outside while they're like eating
They're eating
Ashley.
their intestines, yeah.
And so he like
just
comes
starts
out
wailing
and he
on
fucking
one.
starts hitting one with a frying pan, and Maya's like, no, they're helping us. And one of them's like, no hitting, silly Billy.
No hitting.
They helped us.
Silly Billy.
They're super cute. I
They're
love
cute
them.
and funny, and it's great. But she did say she would give anything.
Yep. So
And
she
so-
has. We all know where it's going, right? She has her
She
baby.
has the baby, and it's real nice. They have the baby. Things are good. The Whalens are fucking dead.
of
The
course.
town's not going to convict them.
No, they're all like,
Someone should have done that a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's a small village. We're not gonna tell anyone.
Yeah.
No one needs
no
to know
need
what
for that.
happened here. Yeah.
But
The red caps take the baby.
Red Caps take the baby, man. And so fucking Jamie puts on his noise canceling headphones while he's like cleaning up the blood so he doesn't hear Maya screaming for him.
Yeah.
So she goes into the woods by herself and goes back to that stone hut, and she goes inside and she goes down there.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of red caps, and then
there's like a weird old lady.
Yeah.
And it turns out that that's the missing baby.
That's Maeve's
who
baby. They
was
took
brought there and raised by the red caps and is
to be Mother Red Cap.
Mother Red Cap.
And she's speaking in broken English, and
She's talking like them.
Yeah,
And she's got Maya's baby.
they're gonna raise that baby to be the new mother.
It's labyrinth. Like
Yeah.
they stole a baby. They're gonna raise it.
So Maya like takes a knife and puts it to one of the red caps' throats, just like she did with the intruder in the beginning. And all the red caps are like, oh no, don't do it. And she's like, am I a nice or a nasty girl? And then she fucking kills this
Kills
red
the
cap, dude.
Yeah, and then she kill Mother Red Cap?
She fucking sticks her thumbs in
That's
Mother
right.
Red Cap's eyes.
That's right.
Yeah, she murders the fuck
She
out
murders.
of her. And by murdering Mother Redcap, she turns around with her baby, and all the other Redcaps are now bowing to her. They're real excited about her, man.
Yep.
And so she goes back, and like Jamie finally finishes hosing down the bloody Jeep or whatever, and goes inside and is like, shit, where's my wife and baby? Not again. And he goes out back, and she's standing there, and she's
covered
like,
in blood.
Covered
she's holding
in blood.
her baby.
She's like, Jamie, you're just in time. And then it's like raining, and then a floating skull full of blood.
That's right. This fucking skull is so cool. It like dumps blood into her mouth, and she's like, and it's like all over her.
And then all the Redcaps are
dancing
in
around.
a circle around her, being like, Mother Redcap, Mother Redcap. And she's just happy, and Jamie is like, yeah, okay.
Sure.
And he starts smiling and laughing with his baby.
And it doesn't even seem like a like, oh God, fuck.
No,
I'm
he
smiling
seems-
he's like, you know what? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, they've got protection. She's a queen
Yeah.
now.
They've got a little security squad.
Yeah.
I bet they can help him do like yard work and stuff.
Yeah. You know what? If I had to rank the good for you girl endings of horror movies in ranks of how actually good for the girls it is.
But like morality.
Yeah, so like Midsummer's at the bottom. Like
Sure,
feels
yes.
good in the moment, but now you're stuck with this cult.
Yeah.
Which is next, where it's like, it might be good for you, but who knows what this Satan thing, I don't know. Might not be great. This is
It's that Satan guy.
it is that
Might
Satan guy.
not
He
be-
might not be trustworthy. This is at the top where like, you're all good to go, man.
Yeah, I think if they're like worshiping you, because this isn't like you made a deal with them. This is they worship you as mother.
They might need some liver, but like,
I feel like, yeah.
But at this point, they saw you fucking thumb out some chick's eyes and start worshiping
And
you for it.
she killed one of them. So, you know.
Yeah. So I'd say this is the most you go girl ending.
Yeah.
This fucking rules for them, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like if you were Queen of Red, I'd be just as happy as Jamie.
I mean, I bet though.
You would what?
I bet that those little guys would get annoying after a while. Because do they stick
That's
around?
the thing. We don't know if they're gonna
Do
live.
they move in?
Yeah. Do they stick to their stone hut? Or were they just living there because that's where the old Mother Red
That's the
Cap
thing
was?
is those things might be.
If they're moving in, that's a different arrangement.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could build them like a little dog house out back.
Yeah, I'm
to
building
stay
a little
in.
hut back there. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me maybe that
Because they're like kind of funny, but like they
would
get
old.
annoying. Yeah.
yeah.
But
It would start feeling like the beginning of The Hobbit, you know, where all the dwarves show up and it's like, oh my God, this is like a nonstop party. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of little guys everywhere.
yeah.
And I can't get rid of them.
But if they can help clean, maybe that could offset some of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seem kind of rowdy. Mm-hmm. That's Unwelcome. I love this movie.
Yeah, I really like this movie.
I just like that it's different, that it's like a fantasy horror, which you don't get
and
a lot.
good balance of creature versus the human story, which I feel like I need in a creature movie, or else I just tend to.
It's got
zone
nice
out.
little bits of humor with some line deliveries and like enough to like, we laughed aloud a few times. You know, it was nicely interspersed throughout and then those practical effects, man. Like you're waiting a long time for the red caps, but it's worth it because when they show up, it's fucking great. There's just little murderous guys.
I don't know what it is about there being a bunch of little guys. Like if there's just one, you know, all right. But if there's a bunch of them, now I'm interested. I don't know why.
And I like that they can talk in like this their silly little
and
voice.
It's cute.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't make sense for this movie to have a sequel, but I would love to see the red caps return somehow.
I would love to see this like a Disney TV animated, you know, like the Aladdin show or the Little Mermaid show, where it's like a adventure
the story
of the week.
Yeah.
kind of thing, and
I
the
know.
animation kind of sucks.
Because
and-
like they look so cool. They're so funny and interesting and violent. I don't like that this is all we'll get of them is this movie. I want more. I want more of them.
I want more of them.
They're so cool. But that's Unwelcome. Wish we could have honored it at the awards, but hopefully this podcast will make some of you check it out, and hopefully you like it as much as us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check it out. This movie sounds like it kicks
Yeah,
ass.
It's great. I really
think you'll
liked
like
it.
it a lot.
And then maybe we could honor Totally Killer somehow too. Like maybe give it a kill count or something, because those are two movies that I just want people to see. Because they're interesting movies. Especially this one feels original and fresh. And that's great. Good stuff out there, man. Cool. We don't know what's next, right? Because it'll be too early for that debriefing award show episode I talked about. That would probably be the next one after that. So we'll have something else in the meantime. And
Yes, if you ever want to suggest anything, Twitter's probably the best way.
yeah,
at
hit
this
us
point.
up. If you have any ideas for a podcast, let us know, because sometimes we don't know what it is, especially right now with the stack of work on top of each other. Sometimes with the podcast, it's like, what are we gonna do for this?
Yeah, it's like seat of our pants type stuff. If there's something going on like the award show or some other big project, it's tough. But
we are keeping up with the Patreon rewards. We just recorded a commentary track for Humanoids from the Deep.
Humanoids from the Deep.
Yep. So that
fair warning, that movie,
does have sexual assault.
it does, by swamp creatures.
Yeah. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon, raping women.
So
That's
just
what happened. Yeah.
a
A couple of times.
just so you know, that's what that commentary track is.
Yeah.
Just
Outside of those scenes, it's a fun, silly, wacky movie.
it's a weird one. It is. I don't know, man.
And then I was thinking for our Patreon Hangout podcast that we haven't recorded yet, I was thinking maybe just talking about video games and our history with them, when we played them, what we play now.
I can talk about
That sounds
video
fun.
games.
Yeah.
Chelsea can talk about video games. I mean, both of you two. I'll sprinkle in my StarCraft, Battlefield 2.
I played StarCraft.
Yeah, OG?
Yeah.
And Brood War?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of
we'll do
video
that.
games, on the 29th of this month, I'm going to be streaming with the charity Special Effect. They're based in the UK. They help provide accessibility devices for disabled gamers. We're going to be streaming Baldur's Gate 3, and joining us is going to be some voice actors, including the voice of Karlach, which is pretty exciting. Everyone's favorite muscle mommy.
Also, I'm going to be streaming this weekend on the 24th and the 25th for very long hours. It'll probably be like 8 or 9 hours on the 24th, maybe even longer on the 25th. I will be playing Sea of Thieves. I'll be streaming it on the YouTube channel because I'm going to be doing kill counting my adventures on the seas. I have rigged up a stream deck to be counters for different ships that I'll sink and players that I'll kill and skeletons I'll kill. I'm also going to be keeping a commendation tracker, and for every commendation I earn, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. So,
okay.
I'm going to make it a fun game that'll go on for way too long. I'm going to be dressed as a pirate. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm fucking excited for this because it's community weekend, which means all your progress and gold are like times 2 or more. So I'm fucking excited. Maybe Chelsea will hop on for some.
I think I'll show up for a little bit.
I might have people come in and out. Otherwise, I'll be solo slooping. But yeah, so tune in. It'll be on the channel for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Otherwise, Dead Meat James on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
And I'm at Carebeck, CREBECC on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want merch, deadmeatstore.com.
Yep.
And I guess until next time, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm James.
That's Gressel.
Thanks, Gressel.
And this has been the Dead Meat Podcast.